Hello, Miss Mabel.
Hi.
I'm Jenna. I'll be your social worker for the day.
Okay.
Okay. So let me tell you a little bit about myself first. I'm actually an intern here, so I'm here for you to talk to me whenever you want,
Okay.
however long you want.
Okay.
And we can make goals together. We can change behaviors that you want to change, but this is all for you and whatever you feel the need, whatever you need or want help with.
Okay.
And everything is confidential between you and I, as long as you're not going to harm yourself or harm others. And I'll always let you know before I do break that confidentiality.
Okay.
Okay. So, can you tell me what brings you in here today?
Yeah. Sorry, I'm a little nervous. So I just got out of prison a couple weeks ago. I was in there for possession charge. Sorry, this is kind of hard to talk about.
No, that's okay.
So I was in there for possession. I've had a drug problem for really, I guess close to 15 years.
Okay.
I've tried to quit a few times but haven't been successful. But I quit when I went to jail this time. I was in there for 6 months. So I've been clean about 6 months.
Okay.
A little bit over. And I've been out for a couple weeks now, so I'm having trouble though. It's been kind of hard being out of jail. I guess it's a little harder to not use than when I was in.
Right. All the temptations when you're out.
Yeah, exactly.
Very hard, yeah.
Yeah, so it's been difficult, but I'm trying to figure out, how to stay clean, I guess.
Okay, so you have been using for 15 years, but just recently, since you had to go to jail, you are 6 months and a little over clean.
Yeah.
Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
I know that must have been very, very hard while you're in there to detox and everything.
Yeah, it was horrible, but I have a little girl, so I wanted to do it for her. I wanted to be, a good mother. So.
Okay, great. So I hear that your daughter is your motivation for getting clean.
She is my motivation. She is. I want to be a good mother to her. My mom is clean now, but she did use when I was growing up, and it was a really hard life. It was scary. Some days she, would be gone, days at a time. I wouldn't know where she was. Sometimes we didn't have food in the house. So it was not a good childhood.
Yeah, it sounds rough. It's like you don't want your daughter to live that life that you lived.
Exactly. I don't want her to live the life that and I don't want her to make the choices that I made either. And I think a lot of those choices were because of my mom's choices. So I want to, I guess, try to break the cycle, they say, and, try to start living clean for my daughter.
That's amazing, yeah. You have that positive outlook for your daughter.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I want her to be proud of me.
Yeah, that's great. So you say you've been clean. How has that been?
It was really hard the first few months in jail, but I really got my mind straight, I guess. So it went a lot better the last few months, but just being out has been really hard recently because I live right down the street from that person I used to buy drugs from. So passing that every day has been just horrible. Like, it's all I can think about.
Yeah.
So I don't really know how to not think about it all the time.
Yeah, because you're passing them, you live near them, it's in the neighborhood.
Exactly.
And it's right by you, so it's always on your mind.
Exactly.
And it's on your mind because you're trying to stay away from it. So, having to have it on your mind staying away from the addiction, but then having it on your mind also with them being in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
I can't imagine, yeah. That must be very hard.
It's been horrible. It's all I can think about, and then I just beat myself up because I'm like, I'm such a bad mother.
Mm.
Like, what kind of mother, does this? But, I mean, I haven't done it, thankfully.
There you go. Yeah.
So
you haven't done it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You
But
haven't
just
done it
the
since.
thoughts make me feel bad.
Right, right. And those thoughts are going to be there because addiction, it's hard. It's hard to get over. And especially you coming out of it 6 months and a few weeks. That's amazing. You're making progress right there.
Yeah.
Right.
I am. It's just, I guess I'm hard on myself.
Yeah. Yeah, because you want to do what's best for your daughter.
Yeah, exactly. I do. Sometimes I feel like she'd be better off, with somebody else, but I want to try to make the effort for her so at least she knows that I've tried.
Right.
So
Right.
that's what I'm trying to do. I thought about, because it's hard too because all of my friends actually, they, smoke crack too. Or not too, but they smoke crack. And then they talk about getting high all the time. Some of them are actually my cousins. So it's just really hard to hear them talk about that and to be around them.
Yeah.
Just because I feel like that's kind of maybe like a trigger for me.
Right.
I did a little bit of therapy in jail, and they taught us, some of those things. But so I think they're a trigger for me. But it's really hard to just get rid of them, I guess, because that's been my family my entire life, and my friends. And they helped me with my daughter because I, got a new job recently. So I'm trying to do that.
Okay.
And they watch her for me, but I also feel a little scared leaving her there because I don't necessarily know what happens. It just worries me that maybe somebody will come in the house that is a bad person and something might happen to her. I don't know. It's just really scary.
Right. Like maybe you're having some flashbacks or some things that happened to you when you were little that you're afraid are going to happen to her.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you lived that life, You're bringing her to a place where people may be using and you're not there, so you can't stop it.
Yeah.
So you feel a little out of control.
Yeah, that's it. I feel really out of control. I guess, and I don't know, I just want to make sure she's safe.
Right.
So I've been trying to think of maybe some different, options. I thought about maybe asking my mom. She's been clean for about 10 years.
Okay.
So I feel like I can trust her now to watch her.
Yeah.
But, I don't know, so that may be something I look into,
Okay. So how would your mom feel about watching her?
She is open to it. It really just depends on what her schedule is going to be with her work. But she's open to it, so I think it could work out, and I would feel safer with my daughter there.
Right, right. So you have a support system, but the support system are your friends and your cousins who use. So that's the negative support system, and then you have a positive support system with your mother. And what other family members or friends do you have?
I have an aunt, but those are really the only two people in my life that haven't used. So much of my life consisted of using that. It's not like I really put any effort into having anybody else outside.
Right. Of course, yeah. That's how it normally goes. When you have an addiction, you surround yourself with those people, and you don't get away from people who don't use, but they're not interested in the same thing as you.
Yeah, I mean, they're really not.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't care. I mean, they've tried a couple of times, a few of them, to get clean, but then they've, slid right back into it, and I just don't want that to happen to me.
So you see what happened to them when they tried to quit, and then, consequences from trying to quit, but you're trying, and you don't want what happened to them to happen to you.
Exactly, and I'm afraid if I keep hanging around them that I will, backslide, and that just can't happen. I can't.
Right. So what options do you have that don't allow you to hang out with them?
Well, I was thinking maybe I could try to make friends with some of the other moms, that my daughter goes to school with. Maybe try to socialize there, volunteer. So that's something I've been thinking about. Then I've also been thinking about trying NA. I don't know if you can recommend any meetings. I don't have internet right now, but I've been thinking, you know, it would be people who have gone through it, who came out the other side and have been successful. And I feel like I need to see those people because it's just like right now, I have no positive examples. I mean, my mom, but our relationship is still a little strained.
Right. Especially from what you lived through.
Yeah.
Of course. But yeah, that would definitely give you some positive support groups, which will definitely help you in your addiction or get over your addiction.
Yeah.
You know, meeting some moms at your daughter's school, or trying to volunteer, maybe PTA, getting on that board. Yeah, because they do have meetings, and they'll keep you busy. It'll keep you away from friends.
Yeah.
And then the NA, yes, I can print out a list for you at the end of our session.
Yeah.
And there's plenty. I know they have meetings downtown.
Yeah.
So
I've also thought about maybe trying like a church. I've never gone to church, but I thought it could be something I could try. Some people think that it helps. I'm just kind of afraid, I guess, that they would be like really judgmental about my past. And I don't want.
You don't want that. You don't want to feel, you know.
I don't.
Right. I understand that. And, you know, I have had some clients who do go to NA meetings, who do get spiritually involved. And that community seems to really pick up. And they just, you know, they have a lot of love. But that's all based on what you feel most comfortable doing. And it's all your opinion. However you want to, you know, you have a few options. So whatever you feel most comfortable with.
Yeah, I don't know if I can. It's just kind of something I thought a little bit about. I don't know if I'm quite ready to do that, but I would definitely like to try the NA meetings at least.
Yes. Definitely, and I will get you a printout after the session.
Okay. Something else I'm kind of worried about is, I guess, I haven't really talked to my daughter about what I did, I guess. And I want her to know, you know, how important she is to me and that I really want to change. But I don't know. I'm just afraid that she'll look down on me a little bit too, and I want her to, I don't know.
Right.
Like I said, I want her to be proud of me still.
Yeah, you're scared of her reaction. You don't want her to see you as weak or, you know, not stable for her, right?
Yeah. If I was really honest with her, you know, I would tell her I still have those cravings.
Right.
They can be really strong sometimes.
Now, how old is your daughter?
11.
11, okay.
So she's definitely getting older. I had her when I was, you know, 17. So.
Yeah, and that's a lot of stress too, having a kid when you're 17. I can't imagine, you know, having to just everything so far, you know, going to jail. You're very, very resilient going to jail, then having to come out and face that addiction with the people around you who, you know, the negative support system.
Yeah, I guess I hadn't thought of myself that way.
Very strong.
Yeah, I've been through stuff, but I feel like how strong can I really be if I'm using?
Well, that's your way to cope. That's what makes you feel better.
Yeah.
And we can work together on some coping skills.
I'd really like to learn some.
Yeah.
Because I don't really feel like I have very many right now.
What did the therapist in the jail do with you?
I mean, we did some one-on-one talking. They did art therapy, which I really like art. So, I mean, it could be like painting. That could be something that I, you know, try to do instead of the drugs.
Yeah. So you have some options for what to do instead of going to use. What are other options for you?
I like to knit.
Okay.
And make like hats and scarves.
Awesome.
So I mean, those are things that I think maybe I'll try instead. Like when I start really wanting the drugs, I would do that instead.
Right. So when you're craving or tempting, or you're tempted to do the drugs, you can really go to painting. You said, or knitting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And in NA, you will get a sponsor, and when you
Okay.
if you do
Mhm.
wish to do this,
Mhm.
you can call them. That would be helpful too.
Mhm.
Just to have somebody who's there, who's been through what you've been through.
Yeah, that. I mean, I feel like that would be really helpful to me,
Mm-hmm.
to be able to call somebody.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Yes, you're very welcome. I'm really happy you talked to me about everything. You had a really, really hard childhood with your mother, and just having to deal with that, and then having your daughter, and you don't want her to go through the same thing. That's totally understandable. And you want to get away from the addiction. You want the change.
I do.
So that's great. And you have some stuff that can occupy you to try and get you away from the addiction, painting and knitting.
Yeah.
And maybe making your social network a little bigger, getting moms at school to get together, PTA, the NA. I'll print you out a list right now.
That would be awesome. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. And we can meet again next week if you'd like.
That would be great.
Yeah. All right. Awesome.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.